Sure, here's a 1,600-word article on the 1959 Ford Fairlane 500, crafted in an engaging and informative style, perfect for a YouTube script. It flows as a continuous piece without subheadings, as requested. In the golden era of American automotive design, when tailfins soared and chrome gleamed like never before, the 1959 Ford Fairlane 500 emerged as a true symbol of style, innovation, and a nation obsessed with the open road. Built at the peak of post-war optimism, the Fairlane 500 was not just a car, it was a statement. A statement that Ford Motor Company knew exactly how to capture the dreams of the American family, wrap them in steel and style, and send them rolling down the highways of a new and exciting age. The Ford Fairlane nameplate had already been gaining popularity throughout the 1950s, but the 1959 model year marked something special. It was the last in the line of the second-generation Fairlanes before a significant redesign the following year, and Ford made sure it went out with flair. The 59 Fairlane 500 was longer, lower, and wider than ever, embodying the trends that defined late 50s automotive fashion. Measuring over 17 feet long and dripping in chrome, it was impossible to miss. Whether cruising downtown on a Friday night or parked proudly in a suburban driveway, the Fairlane had presence. Perhaps its most iconic feature was the wide, sweeping tail fins that reached upward like wings ready for takeoff. These fins were more than just decorative, they were a nod to the jet age, when everything from refrigerators to watches was inspired by aircraft design. The rear taillights were big, bold, and round, giving off a glowing red reminiscent of rocket boosters. Up front, a massive grille framed by dual headlights stretched nearly the entire width of the vehicle, commanding attention and asserting dominance on the road. But the Fairlane 500 wasn't just about looks. Under the hood, buyers could choose from a variety of engines, from a modest inline-six to a powerful V8. The most common and desirable setup was the 332 cubic inch Thunderbird Special V8, which delivered around 225 horsepower, more than enough to move the car's 2-ton mass with authority. For those wanting a bit more punch, the 352 V8 was also available, pushing performance into muscle territory even before the muscle car era officially began. The driving experience of the 1959 Fairlane 500 was a mixture of luxury and power, wrapped in classic American engineering. It featured a smooth ride, thanks to its full-frame construction and coil spring suspension up front. Power steering and brakes were optional but commonly equipped, making it easier to handle despite its large size. The transmission options included a 3-speed manual, a manual with overdrive, or the Cruise-O-Matic automatic, ideal for effortless cruising. Inside, the Fairlane was a showcase of mid-century design. Wide bench seats upholstered in two-tone vinyl invited both driver and passengers to relax in comfort. The dashboard was a spectacle of symmetry and chrome, with round dials and toggle switches laid out in a way that felt more like an aircraft cockpit than a car. The steering wheel was massive, with a horn ring that practically begged to be tapped. Even the glove box had its own sense of drama, opening with a satisfying click to reveal a cavernous storage area. The Fairlane 500 came in multiple body styles to suit every taste and need. There was the 2-door coupe for the sporty driver, the 4-door sedan for families, and the wildly popular retractable hardtop convertible, officially known as the Fairlane 500 Skyliner. This model featured one of the most complex and fascinating mechanisms of the decade, a fully retractable steel roof that folded into the trunk at the push of a button. It was a marvel of engineering, made possible by a symphony of motors, switches, and hydraulic components. Watching it in action was like witnessing a transformer in real life. For 1959, Ford offered a bold and expressive color palette. From tropical rose to geranium red, and from Gulfstream blue to colonial white, buyers could personalize their cars in ways that reflected the vibrant optimism of the era. Two-tone combinations were especially popular, with sweeping side trims accentuating the length of the car and giving designers room to get creative. Sales for the 1959 Fairlane were strong, with Ford securing its place as one of the big three in Detroit. Despite fierce competition from Chevrolet's Impala and Plymouth's Fury, the Fairlane held its own, offering buyers a blend of affordability, flair, and functionality. It was a car that promised to turn heads and deliver on the dream of stylish, reliable American motoring. What makes the 1959 Fairlane 500 even more special today is how it captures a moment in time, a snapshot of 1950s America that still resonates with collectors and enthusiasts. It represents a peak in automotive exuberance before the 1960s brought about a more restrained, performance-oriented design philosophy. The late 50s were about making a statement, and the Fairlane 500 was Ford's loud and proud voice in that conversation. In the modern collector car world, the '59 Fairlane has earned a place of honor among classic American cruisers. While not as commonly seen at car shows as a '57 Chevy or a '60 Cadillac, its rarity only adds to its allure. Enthusiasts appreciate it for its distinctive style, innovative features, and nostalgic value. Restored examples can command respectable prices, especially the Skyliner retractable models, which are prized for their engineering complexity and wow factor. Driving one today is like stepping back into a time machine. The growl of the V8, the floaty ride, the massive steering wheel, and the sheer size of the car all contribute to a driving experience that's unlike anything modern vehicles offer. It's not about speed or precision handling, it's about presence, character, and enjoying the road in a way that few cars can replicate. Owning a 1959 Ford Fairlane 500 is about more than transportation. It's about storytelling. Every detail, from the chrome fender ornaments to the sweeping speedometer, tells a tale of a different era. It speaks to a time when cars were built with flair, when the future was bright, and when driving was an event, not just a task. Restorers and collectors often find joy in bringing these cars back to life. The availability of parts, thanks to a strong enthusiast community, helps make restorations feasible, though finding a complete and rust-free example can still be a challenge. Many Fairlanes fell victim to the ravages of time, weather, neglect, and changing tastes meant that many were scrapped in the 70s and 80s. But those that remain are cherished pieces of Americana. The Fairlane name itself is steeped in history, named after Henry Ford's estate in Dearborn, Michigan. That connection to the founder's legacy adds an extra layer of significance. By 1959, the Fairlane had become a flagship model, paving the way for future Ford icons like the Galaxy, which actually started as a trim level of the Fairlane before spinning off into its own line. In retrospect, the 1959 Ford Fairlane 500 represents the culmination of a decade's worth of design evolution. It pulled together the best elements of 50s styling, fins, chrome, color, and comfort, and set the stage for the coming changes of the 60s. It's a car that asks nothing more than to be appreciated, for its beauty, its ambition, and its role in the story of American cars. As we look back on this piece of rolling art, it becomes clear that the Fairlane 500 wasn't just built for the roads, it was built for the people. For families chasing the American dream. For couples going on Saturday night dates. For dads washing it in the driveway on a sunny afternoon, and for kids peeking over the dashboard in awe of the world beyond the windshield. It carried more than passengers. It carried memories, dreams, and the spirit of an era. Whether you're seeing one at a classic car show, restoring one in your garage, or just admiring it in photographs, the 1959 Ford Fairlane 500 reminds us of the time when the car was king, and style ruled the road. Let me know if you'd like this article formatted into a voiceover script, turned into a blog post with headings, or paired with video clip suggestions for YouTube.